Welcome to the Recreation Commission meeting for October, our first meeting in October. Call to order, we got 5 members present, so we have a quorum. And first thing we've got, order of business, is consideration of minutes of previous meetings. Did we get any?
Yes,
Yep.
you got them all.
Did you?
I sent them in caps. I said, these are the minutes from the last meeting.
So which one are we doing?
The
Let's see here.
last meeting was the 25th, I believe.
Right.
I sent it last week.
Oh, that was the one I was in.
Yeah,
phone.
you're on the phone.
Somebody want to make a motion on them?
Did everybody read them? John?
You know, I did, but that was like a week and a half ago.
No, it wasn't a week and a half
It
ago.
feels that way.
No.
I still can't get over the detail of these minutes. They're awesome.
They are detailed, so you really should, because included in the minutes are action items. So we may want to spend some time going over them at some point to make sure we've fulfilled our action items.
We should under old business, isn't it? What old business is under?
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing we're talking about was the tobacco, the no tobacco on the
Right.
fields policy. We needed to get some answers from which towns have done it already. How would we roll it out? So I think a little bit of homework needed to be done. Maybe, I don't know who was assigned to that. Oh, okay.
All right. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from 9:25.
I'll second.
Did you get them?
And I just finished reading them. All in favor?
Aye.
I had read them.
Aye.
Aye.
They're good. They're all good. They're all there.
Motion carries 5-0-0. Minutes were approved. Next item is public input. I don't know who was here first.
Yep.
Come on up, grab a seat, and let us know who you are and where you're from and what you're here for.
Okay. I'm Chloe Kavanaugh. I'm a sophomore at Campbell High School. And I'm here because for my sophomore project, I wanted to take care of the boat launch.
Okay, so we talked by email.
Yeah.
Briefly. What's your thoughts on it's your sophomore projects? You have how many hours you're supposed to put in?
30 hours.
30 hours. It should be pretty easy down there.
Well, that's what I was wondering, and we'll let Chloe.
The boat launch will
Start, yeah.
close for a couple of months during the winter. The gate will be closed and no one will be allowed in. There won't be anything to do down there. What's your thoughts? Like, what are you looking to do? Let the commission know effectively.
I was just thinking, I guess, just anything you would need me to do. Like, I guess just like picking up trash or planting flowers or stuff like that.
So Chloe, are you planning on doing this on a daily basis? How do you plan to get your 30 hours? Because as John said, it's going to close in the winter months. So you're starting now, we're talking October, November. So you get 2 months, and then it would resume again March. And when do your hours need to be completed by?
I think by like April.
By April.
Yeah.
So effectively, you have 4 months to, if you started like tomorrow, you'd have October, November, and then March and April. So what are your thoughts on fulfilling the 30 hours? Are you planning on doing a few hours a week? If there's not much trash, I mean, how does she get there at the boat launch? I mean, is there enough work there?
If somebody's looking to keep that place neat and clean, I mean, around the, this is what I was saying at the selectmen's meeting. We're looking at volunteers for this first year to see how much time we put in. So actually having somebody come down and document, hey, I spent 30 hours down there and this is what I did. You know, pulled weeds around the guardrails, cleaned up trash, walking down the river. That would actually help us to say,
Agreed.
hey, next year. That's why I was excited when somebody stepped up that we didn't have. It was going to be the River Access Committee trying to put time in and then trying to figure out what we did. We're
Right.
not really good about logging our hours. You won't have that choice. You have to be really good because your guidance council is going to want to see the hours you log. But that'll give us that idea of, hey, you know, this is what it looked like, and this is what we need.
So if she were to start tomorrow, is there stuff for, I know you mentioned planting mums at the entrance. Is there enough to get Chloe where she needs to get to, is what I guess.
Oh,
Over 4 months?
yeah,
4 months?
no
Okay.
doubt.
I mean, I can do that.
Yeah. no
What
doubt.
is it? That's
How-
like 5 hours a month, right?
Well, that's only 20 hours.
20. No, it'd be.
That's what I'm saying. So she'd at
seven and a
least
half-
need-
It's 30 hours.
Oh, 30 hours. I'm sorry.
She'd at least need,
Gotta check my hearing.
right, about what are we talking, 8 hours a
Yeah,
month?
7.5.
Yep.
7.5 hours
So-
a month, which, again, if you take the 4 weeks in there, you can put 2 hours a week in there. You've
Okay,
got your 8 hours.
That's great. That's,
Don't delay, start taking a look at it and doing, wherever your goals are. Money, do you need money to purchase flowers, or what's your thought process on that? Are you looking to get donations for that, or we have a fund in town for beautification. We also have, a little bit of money here. We could put some money out there to give you an assist to plant. I'd love to see some kind of arrangement for the fall and then something coming out in the spring. I have no issue with doing that.
Bulbs.
But
Put bulbs in the ground
Oh,
so the
bulbs,
tulips come up in the spring, right?
so you say that. I bought a bulb planter for $1 and I planted 87 bulbs last week. And what a blast that was. I cannot wait till the spring. Well, I can't wait till the spring.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, if you want to do bulbs, we could do something like that. Do we want to put a dollar amount out there and say, hey, we're going to spend X amount of dollars and in plants to beautification for it? And then do we approach the selectmen and say, hey, can this come out of the beautification fund?
should need to get that, can that get approved pretty quickly to get it in?
Your next
In-
meeting's not for 2 weeks, right? Well, we could
We're
approve it.
meeting
out of
next Monday.
We could approve it out of our budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could come from you guys, but the problem is we still, if you submit it now, you're still going to have to wait till next week to get it. I don't know if it's something that we can get right away, or if you want, you could have Keith Buxton. He has a credit card, the rec credit card.
Yes.
Still is the
Even though
credit
Keith even
Yeah, I
knows
think
he's
he
supposed to
still
buy
has the
light.
credit card, so he could always, facilitate the purchase of that.
We may have to get that credit card.
Yeah.
But I'm just, to get Chloe moving, is it something that we can, so she could start, say, next weekend? We don't
approve
need
it.
the selectmen.
If we approve it,
No, you don't.
School says to approve her.
Oh, okay, right.
Still, I think it's probably another weekend,
Oh, okay.
Well, that's even better.
but you want to get permission from you first.
Right.
Okay, okay, great.
The only warning I have for you, Chloe, is that there's a ton of poison ivy as you get closer to the river. So going off the path would be very itchy at some point. So so don't go too far off the path. Once you take that turn and you see the river, there's a lot of poison ivy on both sides. So especially now where the leaves are starting to fall off, you might not recognize it. And if you go traipsing through it, you'll get the oil on you, and you could get a reaction to it. So
do we want to make?
You want to make a
Fun.
motion?
I'm going to make a motion. We put out there $50 for this year, $50 for next year coming out of the, we'll start it with the Litchfield fields. If we get approval to go with the beautification, we'll move the money from that end.
I'll second it. I just have a question. How do we go with Chloe to purchase this stuff? Do we purchase it and give it to Chloe? How would that work?
You could go get it and return the receipts to you.
yeah, that would work too.
What was that?
That would work just as well.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even have to give us the receipts. I could let the town treasurer know and
No, they need receipts.
fill out the expense sheet. And I'd have to approve it. Yeah.
yeah.
She got an expense sheet you'd have to fill out for it.
Okay.
But yeah, we need the receipts attached to the.
Right,
yeah.
right. You need
But they wouldn't have to come to us. They can go directly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that way it would take out that middleman that they have to wait 2 weeks for us.
Right.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
600. Motion carries. Chloe, good luck. Have fun. Make it fun. Because so far the River Axe has been a blast.
So it's ready down.
Thank you very much for doing that too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It'll look
Thank
good.
you for,
So if she gets it approved, does she need signatures
I'm
Yes.
at some point when it's
Your
with
your
the
log
hours?
when you're all done. You have to complete a log, your time log, and then what your purpose of your project was and what you got out of the project. And then you just send me an email and you can either come down here or we can meet. We can work something out and then just sign off on it. Do it for basketball. So
So you know the drill.
What's that?
You know the drill.
Yeah, I know the drill. Yeah, I know what they're looking for. So that's it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
I guess you're not technically public input either. LRBL, step on up.
Thank you, sir. My name is Jim Rice. I am here on behalf of the LRBL and really just circling back to what we had talked earlier in the summer in regards to replacing 2 hoops. So, one court as far as the hoop, glass backboards, stanchion, plate, so on and so forth. And just, you guys have a quorum now. So just, again, looking to get the official blessing of the rec commission as far as us moving forward and doing that work and purchasing the hardware for that project.
Did we approve it originally or did we not?
Try to remember the notes.
Well, let's, I'll make a motion that we approve.
Back in June, I
Jim
think?
Rice,
There
LRBL.
there was no quorum when it was the first week of July,
Oh,
or second week of July. And I think only you and Colleen were here.
That sounds about right.
So, and then we won when we met again in August, we all had questions. So I think we discussed it, but we never voted on it.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the request to change 2 of the hoops over. LRBL is funding. Jim's heading the project up. Do I have a second?
I'll second since I was here. Yep.
What do we have questions or discussions on it?
I guess my question is, the hoops that we have there are outdoor hoops that will put up with a lot of abuse. So the ones that you're replacing it with, how durable are they? What's the process for when somebody hangs on a rim and breaks it? My concern on our end is, you get a real nice hoop, you put it out there, and then somebody busts the rim, and we're looking at $1,000 repair. Whereas these rims, these backboards are meant for, you've seen kids that are down there, they're hanging on the rims, they're doing whatever they're not supposed to be doing, but it puts up with it. We're not gonna get hit with $1,000 bill, which we really wouldn't be able to take care of. And then now you have a broken hoop. So down the road, is it going to wind up costing us as a rec commission significantly more money?
Yeah. The hoops are outdoor hoops, right? So, there's a variety of different outside hoops, whether they be gooseneck or whether they be glass or whatever. These hoops are collapsible rims. These are definitely outside hoops. Neighboring towns have glass backboards, outdoor, of course, glass backboards. So with collapsible rims, that's what they're meant for, is to collapse and obviously snap back. So I can tell you these are very much rugged and can sustain. I can't tell you I really can't project if we had 5 people hanging from a rim or whatever, just a scenario, whatever it is. But these are rugged outdoor hoops meant to sustain outdoor use.
But, there's outdoor hoops, and then there are playground hoops. There's a significant difference. Like outdoor hoops, if you go to a lot of these sports places, you go to, and they're meant, and they're usually in a restricted area that is monitored and secured, where we know DARA is not.
Mm-hmm.
You might think of the tires and the different things that are happening down there. So it's not monitored, it's not a secure area. So it's not something so there is a difference between something being outdoor and durable and outdoor and playground ready. So I guess my concern is we have hoops that are in good shape, that are definitely usable. I don't see an advantage to changing the hoops over and then potentially having broken hoops that we then have to spend a ton of money to repair.
Let me ask you a question though. The hoops that are in there, you're removing them and pulling them out.
Mhm.
Are they? We don't have to damage them. We can just set them aside, and we just have to put them back in if these don't work out.
But I mean, setting them aside, I mean, you're going to have to take these things out. You're going to have to do some massive digging, and there's a huge cement footing in there holding those things in.
Yeah, so we're gonna extract the hoops if we had to get a new gooseneck or not. Like again, Nick Delia, that's what he does. He deals in concrete. That's his profession. He's an engineer, and so he's going to go in and basically we're going to do minimally evasive cut into the actual asphalt, and then we're gonna cut off the hoop from there and then put the plate on from there. So again, back to durability, I feel very confident in these hoops being durable, being outdoor. We're not getting this from Dick's or something like that. It's through a company that actually deals with. They install thousands of hoops. I wouldn't say a year, but this is what they do. Their primary business is basketball hoops, the implementing of the system, the entire system, soup to nuts. I would also say that if anything were to come about like that, like what you're saying, I mean, this isn't something where, I see us as partners in this as far as the Rec Commission and the LRBL. Like we're coming forth to better these hoops, get them the right height, have them be sturdy. Like the goosenecks, the problem with the goosenecks, if you ever shot on them before, you hit the rim.
I just don't hit the rim.
Yeah, so, some people can shoot like that, but it
I hit anything, but no.
it's that's really the key. And then of course we have some height discrepancies there. And so, by no means am I complaining about it. It's just a situation where we can better it and make it a place where people want to come down and play hoop. People want to, from adults to kids, to really a draw for more people coming down and doing that. So I guess I kind of circled around a little bit. What I'm trying to say is if something were to happen like what you're proposing, we would be looking to help pay for that fix. No doubt about it. I'm only speaking for myself. I certainly don't have the rest of the board here, but we're not looking to do a drive-by install. And that's where I go back to our partnership as far as the LRBL and the Rec Commission working together to provide this to the community.
Which is what's happened even inside
Right.
Town Hall. I mean,
Yeah.
they've taken care of those 4 hoops that I put up 8 years ago. Fix that back up to where it needs to be, and that looks good. Still no answer in the paint, but
Look at it.
I don't know if we have a negative here, especially if we just set the other hoops up and put them aside, put them inside the fenced area where the heating system is, or underneath the deck, and put them in there. And if we need them, we've got them. They're available. Or if we want to put them somewhere else in town over time, we can do that. It's my thought. Anybody else?
I mean, I'm not too worried about it. I think more than anyone else, you guys are the most incentive to make this thing work out and have it last. So yeah, I think you've done your homework, and I appreciate you offering to have it be a partnership if anything goes wrong. It sounds like the plan was to put in 2 this season and then 2 next year.
That is correct.
So we'll have a little bit of window of time to see how it works out too. So I'm comfortable with that.
My only question is when are we actually getting the court painted, sealed?
Spring.
We know. Spring? Is that what it's looking like now?
Yeah, we thought we had Troy and I thought we had a company. The guy was supposed to do it. He was going to be considerably cheaper than the original estimate from the other company that we got, and he just never made it out. I mean, he kept telling us, "Yeah, I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there," and he strung us along for like 3 weeks. And finally now, you can't paint it because there's pine needles falling all over it at this point, and there's just so much stuff blowing around. We kind of dropped the ball early in the season. That's our fault. I know that. I mean, I'm sorry. But we'll definitely get it done in the spring next year. And we did encumber those funds, so we'll just re-encumber them for. I know you were going to say that.
I would have asked that question in 30 seconds.
Right. And my whole thing is because it's really timing. It's like whenever the cutting into cement and cutting into the asphalt and everything.
Yeah.
We want that done before we're gonna paint it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're doing two now. When's the second set might happen? Are you looking at years?
We would look to potentially, not potentially, we want to do it with funds permitting, which we foresee that being the case. We just didn't want to bite the bullet with four hoops, do it once. I'm going to be working with Nick. Nick's installed 3, if not 4 of these just on the side. So he's going to be doing the heavy lifting. He's a busy guy. I literally got off the phone with him before I came into this meeting tonight. We order this. The lead time is about 2 weeks to receive the hardware. And he's like, Jim, I can without a doubt foresee us breaking ground and still being able to do it because of the minimal amount of concrete that we're going to be pouring. It's cosmetic only, right? So we're just getting down to where we need to get to. So it's not a thing of worrying about the ground freezing and everything like that.
But it is a concern. I mean, that would be cutting through the paint.
That's why I'm just worried. I mean, I think Jim's timeline's the fall, not the spring.
But I mean, for all 4.
Well, for the other 2, it's going to be a timeline, but it's also going to be a matter of us figuring out when we're going to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That area is always there's always something falling from one of those trees on that court. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to pick a time where, you're going to walk out there and it's going to be perfectly bare the whole time.
No. Yeah.
But I mean, now it's just.
Now it's horrible.
Yeah, you
In the
can't
early
do it
spring,
now,
it's
yeah.
horrible. Don't get me wrong. So it's just a matter of timing. The preference would be to get them all done before the painting, but that may not be possible.
I mean,
But
if we
we need
did-
at least 2 done. I'd say if we're planning on 2, get at least 2 of them in before we have to paint. And if we can coordinate it, maybe all 4 before we have to paint. But
So let's see how these 2 fall in. And then if it works out well, we'll coordinate between Troy and LRBL and the Rec Commission to see, hey, geez, we'll have the funds because we just started the next basketball season. We'll put these up in March and we hold off on the lines till April kind of thing.
Yeah, if we did them, I mean, I would think that May or June might be better because there'll be less debris falling from the trees around that time. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you get the unpredictability of March and April. So
right. No, you're probably looking May or June. I mean, you want to get it done so it's ready for after school ones. Is pretty much the idea. I mean, kids aren't really going to go outside until after school ones. There are other sports going on and everything.
Yeah.
So if it's delayed until then to get everything worked out time wise and not falling on there, it may be of the best. But it's definitely something we should be thinking about coordinating because we don't want to cut through. We don't want to paint and then cut through again.
how long does it take for that stuff to dry? Anybody have any experience with it, or?
We did the tennis
I
courts and
don't.
line that was a day.
Yeah.
So it's less than,
It depends
it's-
on the weather, humidity, and that gets a lot more shade than the tennis court does. So it probably would take a little longer, but
So a day, it wouldn't be like 2 days or 3 days or anything. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, if we could time it, maybe hopefully we get the courts painted right after you do the third and the fourth basket, the third and the fourth net.
Yeah, for us, it would be like just a funding thing, right? Like that would be able to, not put us on any type of danger, in any type of danger as far as operational funds. So that, like I said, that's why we're chunking it out. But like I said, we're very much willing to work with you guys in any way, shape, or form that we can to have the continuity of the lines being painted with the hoops going up. And I'm trying to recall too down there is are the lines on the baseline, are those close to, like typically you have
There's a gap between, not a big one,
Like
but
a
there is a gap between
like
the pole and the line.
a space. So I'm trying to I want to say that our pad is like 2 foot by 2 foot. So we could take a peek at it when
it's
most
about,
definitely
it's about 18 inches from the line to
to the
pole.
stanchion. Yeah, to
So
the
if it's a 2 foot by 2 foot, you're in the middle of it. You're away from that.
for sure. So we'll take a peek, of course, when we go down there this fall, just to see what it looks like, what it entails, and we're still going to put those things in. But it's more of just a curiosity question as far as how the baseline matches up with the actual stanchion, the pole going into the ground.
I'm not a basketball person.
No further discussion?
I did. Now I can't think of what it was.
I can't help you with that.
So timing wise, what, if you get it done, we're talking maybe November 1st. Okay. How much use is it going to get between now and the end of the year?
Probably minimal to none, right?
So why?
I mean, I played back. See,
Well, I'm just saying, why put them up in November and have them go through a whole winter worth of possible damage? Why not just put them up in the spring?
Because they want to get them done.
yeah, like that's kind of been the thing I think for us. It's been a long time as far as just like quoting and stuff. And I don't mean towards the rec commission by any stretch, but I just mean like it's been a process as far as a project, getting quotes, going back and forth, trying to getting Nick involved in this whole thing too as well. And so we're looking to really ideally chunk it out between two seasons too. Financially, I think is a good thing, is a healthy thing. We're doing some overhauls at LMS as well for the side hoops as well there. So it just makes more sense from a fiscal perspective as well as labor. I mean, it's going to be Nick, myself, and I'm sure we'll be able to get some volunteers as well, other people from the board or whatever, to do the work. But we're just trying to chunk it out versus we've got 4 hoops to go.
Aren't we better off seeing how these two survive the winter before we install 3 and 4?
Well, and I guess my only other question is, I know when we did the other hoops, Kevin went down there and just made sure basically that, Fences Unlimited?
What about them?
Huh?
Fences Unlimited?
They're the ones that installed.
The hoops?
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was
Scott?
Yeah. Because he did the ones for GMS. But I guess without Kevin, and I don't know if the new building inspector, is this something that we need to get, his approval for?
We don't have a town playground inspector.
No, but I'm saying if we're putting up a hoop, this could be, and not that I doubt Nick, but if this hoop comes down on somebody,
I think it's in the same boat of volunteers putting up playground equipment. They're still under that same guise.
but if you put up playground equipment, you have to have a contract to put up the footing. You can't have volunteers putting up footings and things.
Can, just
You're not
isn't
supposed to.
recommended, right?
Right.
But you're still covered as volunteers.
I would and does it hurt to have them check? I would have them check with the building inspector just to make sure.
I can talk to Troy and see if the building inspector has any idea what he's looking at, something like that.
They do. They have code because I know for signs, the footings have to be so deep. They have to, so many pounds of concrete per, with the weight of the hoop. Just to make sure that we're within codes, that we're not.
What did you guys do previously as far as that type of stuff goes for the hoops that you installed a couple of years ago or whatever? What was the process? Like, meaning, did you?
Scott talked to Kevin and basically made sure everything was up to code. So Kevin was good about that. He'd just go down there and meet them, and they did him at GMS as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
we're willing to work with anyone. So that's kind of
because I think you guys did the same thing with the hoops inside Talent. When they reinforced them, they ran that by Kevin and said, okay, we want to make sure that, and Kevin was on board with that.
Right.
So,
Even the original installation.
right.
By Kevin. Right. I'll talk to Troy.
Okay.
I'll give Troy a call and find out what you need to do. Let me know before you're going to put him in, and I'll let you know what Troy had said. I've got your phone number still. You've got mine.
Yeah, absolutely. So that would be, John, you know what? I looked and I know I had it. I
Ready?
switched phones. So if I can grab, should we do this live? or-
Debbie has it. It's fine. It's on the website
Oh,
too.
Debbie has it?
Yeah,
And-
603.
Yeah.
320.
Yeah.
3258.
Nice.
So far, people haven't harassed me in town.
That will remain true. At least from me. Awesome. So then
I got to finish here. Any further discussion?
I don't know.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
We got a 5-1-0. Motion carries. So you're all set. He'll get in touch with me, and we'll go from there.
Awesome. So something that you'll contact the new building inspector we're going to do that moving forward out of this meeting, and then I'll just touch base with you and
What you got for times and dates? That's it. I'm around all the time.
times and dates. Okay, great.
Well, unless I'm traveling.
Yeah, we can get you on your cell phone.
Yes.
I know how to reach you.
All right, very good, excellent. I appreciate you having us, and we're looking forward to it.
All right.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks. All right. Next agenda item said playground equipment under new business. Do we have any updates about mulch or anything that they've contacted you? I know they haven't said a word to me, the group.
No.
Have you heard from them?
I have not.
Well, she sent an email today, right?
She did?
Not to all of us.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
I thought it was to all of
Was
us.
it about mulch?
Yes.
Oh, no.
She said they had not heard back from us. Because we got that email about the donation of the mulch.
Oh, yeah, that was last week though, wasn't it?
See if I can find it. Oh, I guess it was just to me. It says, hi, I have not heard from the, oh, no, that wasn't that.
Okay, here we are. It was September 26th.
Yep. There it is. We had a resident, offer to donate. Yep.
Why can't I find from my practice? Oh, this is from, this morning. I haven't heard any follow-up on this. Did the committee get my message about the mulch donation?
Yeah. No one, I don't think it got back to her
She sent the email out the day after
the day after our meeting. I
Yeah,
know.
so none of us have gotten together since she sent the email out.
Okay, so they had a resident offer to donate 100 yards of playground mulch. They'd like it to remain anonymous. So do we just say,
Yeah.
yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
And there's nothing we have to do as far as, I
Well,
know
we
in the
gotta
past
swing-
when we've gotten donations like that, we have to do a formal,
Acceptance.
Yeah. or do we do it, or does the Board of Selectmen do it?
It's a good question. How much is it? How much is it worth?
Like
100 yards.
$2,400?
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we do have to do a, yeah, I think it might have to go in front of the Board of Selectmen. We're meeting, this Monday. So, 6 days from now. So I'll have it put on the agenda if you want us to, and then we just do a vote on it and, accept it.
Okay, so she also goes on to say, in the last meeting, I didn't see that it was mentioned whether or not there was funds set aside. Now, we did in our last meeting set aside funds.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can reply back saying, yes, there are funds set aside. Now, did we have a final number? Was it just to use
Well,
those?
I thought our final message to, before we started, we were gonna do those three things.
Yep, the mulch.
The mulch, the swings, and then the pad, not the pad, but the platform. But then for anything else, we wanted to get some type of plan put together so we're not
Right.
putting something and going,
Right.
oh,
We
well,
wanted
now
to
it's
see-
in the way.
Right, we
can't
wanted
do
to see the
this.
placement of it. Yeah.
But not just the placement of it, but the placement of any possible future things, so that we just sort of fit everything together.
Right.
And a priority list
Right.
of what they wanted, like in order of what they wanted first versus
Okay.
last. I mean, we may have to, as was, figure out how much money we have in both line items and say, okay, this is
25 and 5.
Right. so we can itemize and get to that, maximize it, as opposed to being like, yeah, we're just going to pick a few things and seems to work okay, and then they're like, well, no, actually, we would have preferred this instead of this,
Right.
and this instead of this. So getting a priority list from then would help in terms of, yeah, we'd go down the list and figure out what we can get with what we have, and then table the rest of it until the next time, next year's budget. So.
So we'll let her know that this is going to be brought to the selectmen's attention for the donation.
Yep.
We also have money set aside, but we are looking for some sort of sketch or some sort of layout.
Right, but we
Future.
want them to get the swings.
Right. Get the two swings. Yep. Get the two swings. We set aside funds for that. But as Mike said, though, we'd like a list of what
They
what's
did do a
priority.
survey monkey or whatever those things are called for what type of equipment that went out on the Facebook
Yes, they
Litchfield
did.
Playground
They
group. So somebody is actually.
They,
been
I know
trying.
they brought a list
Yeah, they
in
did.
with them. It was just a matter
The
of
list
things
was
they wanted, but it was
10 or 11 items.
Right.
So
the
they put out a
priority of it would be
that's why they put out this Facebook
Right.
posting of who wants this. I think the last time I saw it, there was like 15 or 18 votes for certain equipment and
Oh,
2
okay.
or 3 for other pieces. But
Okay.
nobody's really come back and given that to
Right.
us, the final numbers.
Okay.
The question I have about the trade-off that we're doing, they want a special swing. How much is that swing? Do we know? Did you read the email?
the wheelchair swing. They did bring that. They brought that up when they presented.
Alright.
It is more money.
Okay.
She said she was looking for a quote still for how much it would cost.
Okay. All right.
But you got to figure that, I mean, we're looking at 2 swings for the existing setup there, but the rest would have to come in with a new swing set. Be it they were talking about I think it was a 4 or 6, pretty much is what 4 swings or 6 swings.
Yeah.
So that would have to be part of that cost because I don't see us putting up the wheelchair swings as part of that 2-man setup that's there right now, because that's an easy
Those are just
Fixed.
chains
That's
and
done.
chains and
Yeah.
hang.
where we're going to be looking for something bigger. So
Right.
we're going to have to decide how much money we have, what the swing sets are. Do we want to go with 4 swings or 6 swings? But this is all dependent on they had the rough layout, but the true layout of how's this all going to set up, where a 3-bay swing set or a 2-bay swing set is going to go on there. And then what we want to fund, what we think's reasonable to put on there.
Right.
So, and then that's where that extra swing would come in, where you'd have to pay a different price as opposed to just a regular one.
But also they were going to look into ADA stuff because where that swing can go.
Right.
Because we don't know if it can be just, you can't probably have it right in the middle of the mulch
Right.
because getting a wheelchair through all, soft mulch would be tough. Does it have to be like that rubber?
Yeah, the playground mat.
Yeah. So that was something else I think they were looking into. So
So Andy, I don't mind replying to her, or do you want to reply to her?
well, if you can just tell her that the mulch, we're just going to get the official word from the Board of Selectmen that the infant swings we voted for that they can purchase. They can probably just go through Troy,
Okay.
right? Because we've voted, and I don't know if they can just give him the info, or we can have Keith buy it with a. Keith's probably sitting somewhere going, what's going on?
I don't have that with me.
But then, like you said, just a priority of what we want, and a plan, so that we just don't want to start spending money to spend money. We want
No, agreed. Yep. Okay. So,
I just got an email back from Troy Brown. He says, we can, but how can we if it's an anonymous donation? We can't. Unfortunately, we need to have a whoever's donating it. So communicate, let Rachel know that whoever's donating it needs to come forward and tell us that they're donating it.
okay. But how do they keep it anonymous? So
You can't.
you can't.
No.
Okay. So we're not.
So if somebody just dumps
I was
off
gonna say,
100
yeah.
yards of mulch and leaves.
Exactly. Yeah. That's if you want to do it that way. I didn't hear this.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Say, how do you make an anonymous donation without?
I guess it's not done that often. I don't know. I mean,
Usually,
So
I
the
was.
poor guy or girl has to either go to the
Well,
selection.
here's my question. Can you do an anonymous donation in a closed, can you do the donation in the closed part of the selectmen meeting so the name's not revealed to the public?
I'll find that out. All right.
I'm always shocked that he responds at 8 or 9 o'clock at night to me
I
too.
know.
I don't know. He's not watching. He's just he's I'm sure his phone's buzzing. He's like,
I know.
I watch the Red Sox game. What are you
I
buzzing
know.
for?
I know. Okay,
All right, so we have an update. Let's carry
I'll
that.
get back to
that
her.
one
Yep,
on
I'll get back to her.
and, tell her to get moving because snow's coming soon.
It's gonna be busy. Dara's gonna be busy next month. Budget.
So I met with the selectmen last week.
Yep.
Okay.
Last Monday.
Our budget, Troy had put our budget back pretty much in line with what we've had for the previous 2 years. The selectmen, and he added to it $1,700, I think, in propane, which is his analysis based on the increased cost of what our propane costs are going to be. So our budget's actually gone up, which is really hard, but it makes sense. The propane's climbed a lot. Selectmen really didn't have any questions towards what we're going with. Thanked us all for what we're doing. I meet with the budget committee Thursday, and we'll see what the budget committee has to say about what's been written so far. If it goes like it did last year, I'll be in and out of there in 5 minutes, or in and out of here now because they've moved the meeting to here.
Mhm.
So I think we're in good footing. We talked about the river access and us trying to avoid costs, at least for the 2019 budget from the rec commission, trying to take costs away. So this actually helps going along. Some of the river access members are still saying, we want to keep this going. Can we be some kind of subcommittee off the rec commission? I'm like, listen, anybody who wants to volunteer in any way, we'll work it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure
That
it out.
works, that
So
works.
they're still pretty active in going down there on a regular basis
great.
and cleaning
does look
things up
great.
and doing stuff. So the only thing we have left down there is, and Troy and I talked about at that meeting, was the stones still aren't lined up the way I want them to be lined up, but we've got about half of them done so far. Some I did with Braun. It was much easier when they brought the tractor down and moved the others. I like that plan better than Braun. But that's it for the budget that I have, unless anybody has something I should bring up. All right, good deal. What do we got next?
Other.
Well, Andy sent us. Andy sent us another
Yeah.
today.
See a request. Yeah.
So there's not a specific request. So everybody got the email I forwarded from Pickleball.
Oh, yeah.
That's-
So, I mean, this would fall under Pickleball's use of Talent Hall because it's still being run by Pickleball. So they're not going to have to put but I just wanted to make sure everybody was okay. I'll just find a Wednesday or two at 4:00. I mean, basketball hasn't started yet, so there's no real clamoring for.
Yeah, they
Just
said
on it.
your reply back to Pete was check with the ADs. Is that what it was?
No, that was a different one. That was they wanted to run a pickleball tournament
Right. Oh, okay.
at the school.
This is for Cub Scouts Pack 11.
Oh, Cubs. Did I miss
Yeah,
that?
this just came out like a couple hours ago.
Oh, okay.
He sent it to me today just before 5.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
So this is for the Cub Scouts to teach them. So the Cub Scouts can actually teach the.
Cub Scouts can be taught to play pickleball.
But
Right.
then they. Town Hall to have 6 of the boys along with the den leaders show them what pickleball is all about. It's one of our requirements for advancement. Yeah, so it's just showing some of the den leaders and Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts how to play pickleball.
It's not a camp, so we don't have to file anything with the state.
Right.
Um,
It's a one-time thing.
It's a one-time thing, one day, so it doesn't fall into the rules of running a camp. So
And the
I don't-
Scouts have a 2-to-1 rule anyway. I mean, there's always 2 adults for every 1 kid, in terms of leadership. So,
Two adults. for
well,
every-
no, if there's a kid by themselves, they can't leave it alone with an adult.
Oh, okay.
They have to have at least 2 people there.
We just need to schedule it then, right?
Yeah, and I'll just find an open spot. And they just said any Wednesday after 4, so
All
I'll
right.
communicate with them. and
So
I'll just-
you're going to handle the.
Yeah.
Okay.
I-
Those are the best.
We do have, I forgot, we do have that
Trunk or treat.
trunk or treat, right.
oh yeah.
Which
So
was
they do this every year,
Right.
which at this
And,
spot.
and I don't think we've ever really voted on it because it's.
No, we have.
No, we
We
have.
have,
Yeah.
we have, because before we were like, oh, did they want to go down to Sawmill? But they prefer, and I believe this is either the third or fourth year, they do prefer Dara.
Right.
And we've blocked off the parking for pickleball, so pickleball has access. I don't think it's that crowded that it even
Yeah.
congests or disrupts pickleball parking at all. So this is, I can't quite see,
27.
the 27th. What's the time? It's so dark on mine.
11:30
11:30 a.m.?
11:30 to 12:30.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they expect 20 to 25
Kids.
kids. I can't read that.
20 to 25
There
kids
we go.
around 10
Now I
cars.
blew it up. Okay, now I can see. There we go. So, and this is, I think, the fourth year. You was
Yeah,
another
they-
woman that did it for a couple of years, and
Right.
now this woman. And as you pointed out, Kurt, some other organizations at the Women's Club, who's doing it?
Lions.
Lions
are
okay,
doing-
they
well, I
do it
thought
over
that-
here.
I-
That's older.
For
That's
some reason,
older,
I
that's
thought
the night of.
last year we combined them. That's why I brought that up. I
They
know.
didn't combine.
Oh, okay,
I put the ladies together, and they wanted to stay
Oh,
separate.
that's why I mentioned that. I
Yeah.
wasn't trying to like scare
Oh
them.
no,
or
no,
anything, I
but
was-
they wanted to keep it separate.
Yeah, yeah.
They
So-
like the idea of having the young kids and the older kids stay away from each other. So.
Yeah. So, are we good with this date and time? I don't see anything.
I don't see a problem.
If would you stick in standards and make a motion and
I'll make a
vote
motion.
it again?
I'll make a motion
Okay, there
to
you go.
approve trunk or treat at in the Dara parking lot on Saturday, October 27th from 11:30 to 12:30.
I'll second, and the only thing I need to check on would be fall ball. I don't know if they're done at that time. And again, they were able to work things out before. It's not that big of a.
Right.
That would be the only issue, possibly. But it's not like there's a tournament.
Okay, so you're going to check with fall ball. Will you notify her then?
I'll
okay.
notify her and check with fall ball.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
600, motion carries. All right.
Were there any others? We had Chloe, Brooke, Barry.
Yeah.
I've got nothing else. Unless somebody else has something. We're in the other function right now. If not, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
All right.
Have a nice day.